Recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Recording.
Can everybody hear me? Just wave if you can hear me. Okay. So here we are in the 9 days. No meat apart from Shabbat. So I thought everybody gets a bit fed up with fish, nachamul fish and nachamul fish. So for a change, and people say, oh, I don't know what to make. What do I make? So I thought I'll have a few different ideas maybe about what to make for the 9 days. So I'm starting off with some cauliflower steaks. I don't know, can you see? Cauliflower steaks, which I'm going to show you to do the spice mix for them. Now, I cut them in the middle because you need to soak them obviously in salt for the insects and everything. So cut it from the middle and do quite thick slices, because if you don't, it will crumble. But don't worry if it crumbles. And if you don't want to do the spices, just do little cauliflower, reasonable sized cauliflower florets. And don't worry if it crumbles, because it might. Then I'm going to make the spice mix. So for the spice mix, we've got some minced garlic. We've got some curry powder. We've got some cumin, and we've got a pinch of cardamom, which is lovely. And I've got some little bit of turmeric and some garam masala. I've got quite a few packs of garam masala. So if anybody doesn't have it, I'm more than happy to give a pack to somebody. Now to that, I'm going to add some chopped coriander. Not everybody likes chopped coriander, so you can leave it out, or you can put a bit of parsley. I'll put a bit of that on. And then I'm going to add some parov chicken stock. Obviously, if you've got a meat meal, you can use ordinary chicken stock, but I usually use parov anyway. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of oil. A little bit of oil, not too much, but that will, when it's cooking, it'll cook it nicely. Mix that. Now you mix that into the spice mix, like that. Mix it together. And then just pour it over the cauliflower. So it's all well covered. Make sure the spices are all mixed in well. And just pour it over. And then with some gloves, because turmeric tends to stain the skin, and you'll be spent ages. It's enough with all the washing the hands that we've got to do at the moment. So I'm going to use gloves and give it a good mix with my hands, so it's all covered nicely. Okay, so make sure you use gloves, otherwise you'll have yellow hands, because also in the curry powder. So there we are. And then just cover it. Cover it and put it in the oven and cook it on about 150 for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. And for the last 5 minutes or so, if you want to char it, have it a bit brown on top, turn it a bit higher, and just for the last few minutes, char it a bit. But you can keep basting it in between as well. I'm going to put this away now and show you. So here we have the finished product. You've got your cauliflower, right? And I've decorated it with a bit of lime. I actually found some limes in the new greengrocer in the piano. And with this, I'm going to serve a cucumber and garlic raita. So I'll show you how I do that. So here we have some grated cucumber, which I've drained and squeezed out the moisture because cucumbers hold a lot of water. I didn't salt it, I just drained it and squeezed it out, together with a garlic, minced garlic clove, and together with some chopped mint. Right, so I've got a yogurt here, bio yogurt, 3%. You don't want anything less than that because it'll be too watery. So in goes my, hold on a minute, where's my spoon? Sorry. In goes my yogurt into the dish. Add in the cucumber, the minced garlic, and the chopped mint. If you don't like mint, it's lovely with chopped dill or chopped parsley or any herbs that you like. But mint is particularly refreshing, especially with the spices of the cauliflower. Mix it together. You can let it marinate a bit in the fridge before serving. So before serving, leave it a bit so that all the flavors infuse into the garlic. And you can add a tiny bit of salt as well, if you want, just a bit. Really a pinch of salt. So there we have the cucumber and mint raita, which is served with the cauliflower. And with that, I also serve some lovely quick pickled onions, which goes very nicely with the spices. And all you do, you don't need to soak them for long. Just take some, the juice of a couple of limes. Or if you don't have lime, you can use a bit of rice vinegar or white vinegar or lemon juice, and just cut the red onion in half and then slices. And they come a lovely bright pink color. I don't know if it comes out as pink as that, but they're lovely and pink. And it gives a lovely texture. And now we've got mangoes in season. Beautiful orange mangoes. So I've made a fresh mango salsa, if you like mangoes. So I've chopped up the fresh mango, the orange mango, together with a tiny bit of chopped very finely. I haven't seen any shallot onions here, but take an ordinary white onion or red onion, chop it very, very fine, just about a small amount. A small red pepper, chopped up very fine. Some ginger, minced ginger, again, squeeze of lime juice, and some coriander. And if you like a bit of heat, you can add a little bit of chili, fresh chili. I don't put chili in, but if you like it, then you can have it. So here we have the cauliflower shawarma together with fresh mango salsa, cucumber raita, and the pickled onions. Right, now for the next thing. Now I'm going to make the vegetarian.
Anita, is someone recording this?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Now I'm going to make the vegetarian shepherd's pie. But everybody knows how to make ordinary shepherd's pie. Everybody knows how to make ordinary shepherd's pie. So this is quite filling, either if you've got vegetarians in the family or right. So what I've used for the base is, and I've fried it already, so you don't need to watch. Everybody knows how to fry onions and so I've got an onion chopped up and fried. I've got brown mushrooms because they're the meaty ones, chopped up. I've got a couple of carrots chopped up, and of course some garlic. But whatever vegetables you want to put in, just see what you like. Courgettes are not that great because they tend to disintegrate, they go a bit floppy. So you want something with a bit of bite in it. Now to this, I add my lentils. Now these I've showed you before with the chickpeas, and you can get these in the supermarket, and they're brown lentils, which are they're ready cooked. But if you want to, I've used red lentils as well, and obviously you soak them. They don't need soaking a lot, red lentils, and then I've cooked them and used the red lentils. But these brown lentils are great, and they really are meaty and nice and filling. So I'm going to add that to the vegetables here. You probably won't need the whole pack. It depends how big you're making it. You can use the whole pack. And this mixture is actually very nice if you want to have something like a spaghetti or something instead of a bolognese. You can make this mixture as well, just with the mushrooms and the lentils.
Anita, do you have to defrost the lentils before you put them in, or can you put them in frozen?
I've never frozen them.
No, I bought frozen cooked lentils.
Oh, I would defrost them, yes, because you might have to drain it then.
Okay, thanks.
Because of, you know, with the water and everything. Right, so you've got your mixture, your lentil and vegetable mixture. To that, obviously, taste it first, see what seasoning it needs, salt, pepper, obviously. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tomato sauce, and that makes it a bit more piquant. Not too much, you don't want it too floppy. And mix it in with the lentils and the carrots. That's that. And then, here we are. Right, so this is a bit of a moussaka type thing as well. And at the bottom of the dish, I'm going to put some grilled aubergine and use that as a base. So I know with a moussaka, they layer it with aubergine and minced meat. If you don't like aubergine, there we are. So I'm laying the whole base with the grilled aubergine. You just need to slice them, bit of oil, whack it in the oven, and they don't take long to cook. You don't need, certainly no frying. And just to show you, in case you don't like aubergine, you can do exactly the same with courgette. So slice the courgettes lengthways and just bake them in the oven with a little bit drizzle of oil and layer that on the base if you don't like aubergine, or you can use both, whatever. I just wanted to show you that in case. Then you put on your vegetable mixture on top. Fill it right up. Spread it all out over the aubergine or courgettes if you've got at the bottom. Fill it all out. Yeah. Right. So you've spread that all out. there's your mixture. And now on top of this goes the mashed potato. Yeah. So of course, if you want to, as it's milky meal, you can use butter while you're mashing the potato, or if you don't want, if you're more careful, you can.
Anita,
Yeah.
if you don't want potato, you can use grated cauliflower.
Yeah, you told me that's what you did.
Yeah.
Yes, or I'll show you the ready-made one, and I've used rounds of sweet potato, which is apparently not so fattening. So I've been told. Doesn't make sense because it's sweet, but apparently, so I've been told. So here we have the potato goes on top. Away. And we'll just. If you want, you can scatter some breadcrumbs on top, or you can even put a bit of grated cheese on top, just to, if you so want. So there we have it. Your vegetable shepherd's pie ready to go into the oven. As I said, you can sprinkle it with a bit of breadcrumbs or cheese, grated cheese, and that's a really lovely filling meal. Right, and I will show you.
Anita,
Yeah,
what do you cook it on?
bake it in the oven at about a medium oven. And because everything is cooked already, the vegetables,
Right.
really you just want to brown the
Right.
potato. So it
Okay.
doesn't take long.
Right,
So it's
thank
up to you how brown you like it.
Right.
So here, I made one earlier with the same filling, but the sweet potato in rounds on the top, and sprinkled that with some breadcrumbs. So it's very nice with a sweet potato as well, if you prefer it. Or you can mash the sweet potato, but these don't take long to cook. So I bake them in I bake the rounds of the sweet potato first, and then not too much, and then layered it on top of the vegetables. And you serve that with just a nice mixed green salad. And it's a lovely meal because this is quite heavy. So you don't want anything more than a mixed salad as a vegetable to go with it. Right. Next in line is our ricotta and spinach lasagna. Now, you can use fresh spinach leaves, but you'll have to blanch them before you add the ricotta. I use the frozen spinach. I've used about 7. It comes in little frozen squares, and I defrost them and drain it because quite a lot of liquid comes out of that. So I've drained this and defrosted these little squares of frozen spinach. It's wonderful because you don't need to cook it at all. It'll cook with the lasagna. You don't need to cook these, but as I said, if you're using fresh spinach, just blanch it to wilt them and mix it in. So here's the ricotta. It's 5%. It's very good. It's lovely. Ricotta doesn't have much of a flavor, particularly. So I use one of these tubs for that amount of spinach. If you don't want as much spinach, you can have less. So add the tub to the ricotta, to the spinach. Now, I also add use 1 egg. You can just use the yolk if you want, but I use the whole thing. Put that in, together with some salt and some pepper. And a tiny, tiny pinch of nutmeg, ground nutmeg, the tiniest bit, because you're going to add a bit of nutmeg into the bechamel as well. So, mix it all together. If you don't like it as spinachy, you don't need to have so much spinach. You can use fewer of the little chunks of spinach, or the fresh spinach, just wilt some and mix it in. This chopped one is excellent. I have to say, I use it a lot. Right, now you're going to layer it. Now you can either layer it with tomato sauce and do the layers. I've done some, to make it a bit more substantial, I roasted some vegetables, some courgettes, some peppers and some onions and garlic, and added some tomato sauce to that. And only to make it a little bit more substantial, but you don't have to, you can just put tomato sauce. The pasta I use, the lasagna, which is a no-cook lasagna, I mean, you don't need to cook it first and drain it. It cooks itself in the sauce, is the Barilla, and it's fantastic. I love this. I only use this, and all their pastas are terrific. They really are beautiful. So you're going to start layering the lasagna. So you're going to have one of these lined loaf tins, or if you want, do it in a big dish. It's fine. So first, I'm going to do a layer of this roasted vegetables or tomato sauce, whichever you want. Layer that at the bottom.
Smells nice from here.
Right. Now goes on your first layer of pasta, and these fit very nicely into these little, if it doesn't fit, just break it up, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be exact. Because it cooks through anyway. Right, so that goes there. Then you put your layer of your spinach and ricotta onto that. Like that. You'll be able to get another loaf tin out of that amount. Then I'm going to do some more layers of the lasagna. There we are. Okay. And now for the bechamel. I've made some already, but I'll show you what I do. Right. I've made the bechamel, and I'll show you how to do it without having to do a roux. Normally for bechamel, you melt the butter, add the flour, and then add the milk, and you're stirring and stirring. I don't do that. I'm just going to show you I've made some already, this white sauce, to which I've added a bit of nutmeg as well, just a bit, and added a bit of cheese, grated cheese into it. So that's that. And I cover it, put a layer of baking sheet, the non-stick baking sheet, before you cover it, and try and keep it as loose as possible, and bake that in the oven. I'd say about half an hour on 150, something like that. And then right at the end, if you want it browned on top, take the covering off and it'll brown on top. And this freezes really well as well. It really freezes well. So that's that. Now, for the bechamel, like I said, normally you have to melt the butter and stir and stir and stir and hope it won't get lumpy. But I just take some, not ordinary flour, I take corn flour, take some corn flour, about that much, a bit more. You can always make some more if it's not thickening up enough. You're making a bit like a custard. So you make a paste with the milk. Make a little, this is 3% milk. 1% probably won't make it as thick. 3%, it'll come up nicely with 3%. So you put some milk into the saucepan, and then make a paste with the corn flour and the milk. Okay, you just make a loose paste. It's a bit more than a little bit. You want to dissolve the corn flour in the liquid before you add it to the milk. And then you just add it to the milk in the saucepan. Put the heat on, and I use this little whisk, and then it won't get lumpy. So as it's heating up, you give it a flusk with the whisk, and just mix it up, okay? And wait, it'll start to thicken. Add a pinch of nutmeg to the sauce, just a tiny bit. You don't want a lot, you don't want to overwhelm it. And just a tiny little, that's enough. And then you just keep whisking as it's heating, and you'll see it'll start to thicken up. If it doesn't thicken up enough, you can always add a bit more corn flour, make a bit more paste with the corn flour, but with cold milk, not hot milk, otherwise it will go lumpy. And just carry on whisking till you see it thickens up. If you want, you can add some cheese to it. If not, just put this over the top, and then you can sprinkle some Parmesan when you're serving it. Now, I said what I do as well, and I'll show you. And here's the finished lasagna. Oops, so you can see it. Here's the finished lasagna. And what I do, I make a little spring. When you're serving it, you can serve it with a bit of Parmesan and black pepper. And then just drizzle a little bit of lovely basil, pesto sauce, which is dead easy to make. And you just swirl it around a bit. And the pesto, so you just swirl it around a bit, and it's delicious. And to make the pesto sauce, the basil here is so delicious and so pungent. So all you do is obviously wash it and drain it, and then throw it into the Magimix, zhuzh it around with some garlic. It depends how much garlic you like. If you like it a lot, very garlicky, you can add about 3 cloves of garlic to a whole bunch of basil. And then as it's running, pour in some olive oil till you get the right consistency. And this you can freeze as well. You don't need to buy jars. It's so easy to make and it's really such a lovely flavor. So there is the lasagna, ricotta and spinach lasagna with the pesto sauce, basil pesto. And so, bete avon. Any questions? So that's it. And
Thank you very much.
That freezes very well as well. You can freeze, Susan, yeah. Can you unmute?
I've unmuted everybody.
No, she's not unmuted. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Those lentils that you've used, I've never seen those. Where are they, the ready cooked lentils?
In the supermarket,
Where?
by the
You're on and off.
where the vegetables are, the fresh vegetables, usually the salad stuff. They've got them in pouches. They've got chickpeas and they've got lentils and there is some
Red beans.
Yeah, the red kidney beans as well. And it's always where the salad things are.
So they're in a perishable. They're perishable. They're not long life.
No, but you can freeze them.
Right. Okay.
I've frozen.
Or you can buy them frozen.
I didn't know. Right. I've only used the packs where you have to cook. So thank you.
Yeah, no, they're really good store cupboard things. And the chickpeas are fabulous.
Yeah.
If you don't want to soak them because they're really soft. And sometimes the tin chickpeas are quite hard. But these are always lovely and stuff. You can make your own hummus with and it's very nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
You have to take the skins off first.
Of what?
Of the chickpeas to make your hummus.
I
You should.
not with these. Not with these.
Yeah.
I've been making my own chickpeas and freezing them. I buy a kilo packet, soak them, boil them without any seasoning, and then they're ready just to.
I do that, Avril.
Yeah,
I do that.
brilliant. Put them in a Ziploc bag.
I love your glasses, Avril.
Thank you.
I just realised.
People either love them or hate them. They bother some people.
Fabulous.
One square one and one round one. I just noticed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very funky.
Thank you, Anita, for another.
Anita, that was fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
Anita, when are you delivering?
Susan Hodes.
Yeah. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Susan
Thank
Hodes.
you.
Yeah, happy birthday. Can I just
Happy
say one thing?
Yeah.
If you grate cauliflower, add a tiny bit of cream cheese and literally maybe 2 tablespoons of cream cheese and a tablespoon of milk, and then put it in the oven. It comes out fantastically. You can use it on fish, on meat. No, well, you can't use it on meat if you put milk, but it's really, really, really tasty and really a good alternative to the potato if you want.
Thank you. Good.
Anita, when are you delivering?
Yeah. Who gets to eat what you've made?
Well, you're welcome to come and collect if you want. I've got lots, so you're welcome to come. Anybody who wants some can come and collect. Just let me know.
Thank you. God bless.
Anita, it was fantastic.
Anita, thank you. That was really good.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
What's that noise?
Thank you, Anita.